Hello everyone and welcome to this help guide. This will talk you through downloading, installing and licensing SPSS if you're using a Mac operating system. So you can use SPSS on Windows devices or Mac devices, but those are the only two platforms that are supported. You can't download SPSS onto a tablet or an iPad, so it needs to be a laptop, a MacBook or a desktop device. So there is another, if you're using Windows, there is another video in this Blackboard folder that you can look at, but this one will take you through the process for installing SPSS on a Mac device. So if you come to the main university page, if you just scroll down to the bottom, if you go to Students, this will take you to your My Day portal page, and this is where you can access a range of university facilities and services. So you can access Blackboard, you can access FirstPoint, you can access the Reach project, which is the tablet pilot, and we're going to be using IT support. So if you click on that tile, it will take you to a new page, and this is where you can log a job with IT. So virtually, if there's something with you're having trouble with downloading or installing SPSS or licensing SPSS, then this is where you could log a job with IT and ask for them to help. But it also gives you access to something called the Software Web Store, and that's where we need to navigate to download SPSS. You can access it either using this tab here, Software for Staff and Students, or if you look on the left-hand side, there's another button, Software Web Store, and you can select that, and it will take you to a new page. Now, the first time you log into the Software Web Store, it will ask you to complete a profile page. So it'll ask you some details about your course, and it's just to sort of tailor your experience using the Software Web Store. Please use your university email address and things when you're prompted to. I've already logged in, so that's why the profile request page hasn't appeared. But once you've completed the profile page, you will be taken to the main page in the Software Web Store. You can see that you have a ribbon with Microsoft, Adobe, IBM SPSS, TechSmith and other software. So this web store gives you access to pretty much all the software that is free or discounted that you're entitled to for your degree. So we're interested in IBM SPSS, so that's where I'll go now. So when you click on that option, you'll be taken to the next page, and this is where you can see there are lots of different versions of SPSS. There's something called IBM SPSS Statistics, and different versions of that, and there's something called IBM SPSS Amos or Amos, and again different versions of that. Now, IBM SPSS Amos is an add-on to SPSS which allows you to run structural equation modelling. So we won't need that for your degree, so you can ignore anything with Amos in the title. What you need to do is choose between whether you need to install the latest version that we have access to, which is version 26 of IBM SPSS Statistics, or whether you need to access an older version, and that choice will depend on what operating system you're using. Now, there is a link below this video to a page that takes you through the different system requirements for the different versions of SPSS, so I'll show you that now. So you can look at the different versions of SPSS. So for version 26, what operating system do you need to be using? So you can check through here as to which versions you're using of the Mac operating system, and therefore which version of SPSS is best for you. If you have any concerns about that, the best thing to do is to go back to your My Day portal page and to log a job, as I've shown you with IT, and ask them which version is most appropriate. But what we'd recommend is that you install the most up-to-date version of SPSS that you can based on the operating system you're using for Mac. So the version we're going to show you in this video is version 26. So once you're on the IBM SPSS page on the Software Web Store, you need to select version 26. Now this is the point at which you choose between the Windows and Mac platform. Once you've selected a Mac platform, you'll need to add that to cart. Now don't worry, when you select checkout, you won't be charged for this. This is completely free. Once you've checked out, you'll see that you have in red ink an authorization code. Now you need to use that later, but select download and it will take you to the single option for downloading IBM SPSS statistics for Mac. So you can see in the left hand corner there that it is downloading the file. Once that's complete, you just need to click on the file, click on show in folder. Now I need to double click on the SPSS client, and when that opens you need to drag and drop the SPSS statistics installer onto your desktop. It'll ask you if that's okay if you click open. Now you'll need to put your password in here, so your personal password for your device, not your university password, so that it knows you have you're authorized to start SPSS the SPSS installer. So if you click open, next, now you'll have to look through, these are all the license agreement terms and conditions. If you want to install it, you have to accept the terms of the license. Now this is the essentials for Python, that's the programming language underpinning SPSS, so we want that. If you click on accepting the terms and accepting the terms again, otherwise SPSS won't install. Now at this point you can decide whether or not you want to use the default folder, but it's quite often it's best just to stick with the default settings. So unless you have a reason to, I would leave that as they are and click next. So that's just the details of everything that you're going to install. So if you click install, and the process will start. Now depending on the speed of the machine, then this can sometimes take a little while, and it will start to configure the installation. So again, this might take a few minutes. And then once that's done, if you leave this text box as Start SPSS Statistics License Authorization Wizard, and then click Done, it will open up the License Authorization Wizard, and that's what you need to do to license the product so you can use it. So you can see at the moment it doesn't have any licenses. You need to leave this on the default setting, so authorized user license single copy. I know that seems a bit strange, but that's the one we need to use. If you click next, now you'll need to navigate back to the order details, and you need to copy across the authorization code that's in red ink. So if you copy that and then go back to the product authorization wizard, and in that box if you paste your authorization code, click next, you'll see this box with some of the green letters and that it's successfully processed the authorization code, and that should be the process of installing and licensing SPSS. Now if you run into any issues when you are downloading, installing or licensing SPSS on your Mac, then just remember to go back to your My Days portal page, to go to the IT support tile, click on that and open up the IT service desk need help, something doesn't work option, and you will be able to ask IT for support with that. Each year, our license code is renewed with SPSS for all versions of SPSS. So each year you will need to use the IT support virtual help desk. You'll need to log a job with them and ask them to send you the updated license code, and that's usually around July or August time of each year. So you'll be able to access SPSS throughout your course, but each year you'll just need to update the license code. You can't get that from the software web store. You have to contact IT and ask them to send it to you for the version of SPSS you're using. But hopefully that has now given you an idea of how to do that, how to use the license wizard each year to update the license code, and hopefully this has been useful. So thank you, and have fun with SPSS.